Welcome everyone to my another video in the series of debilitated planets. I am going to talk about the most auspicious planet today, that is planet Jupiter. This is the slowest moving planet also, and its results are hugely felt in a horoscope. So if it goes debilitated, which is a state of pity or a state of extreme weakness for a given planet, what are going to be the repercussions? I'm going to talk about that through this video. So first of all, if you have a debilitated Jupiter in your horoscope, it means that you have certainly performed some very big prarabdhas and you are here to balance out those karmas. So Jupiter controls many areas of your life, like it is your child, it is your education, it is your wisdom, it is your logic, it is your confidence, it is your creativity, it is your intelligence, it is your elder sibling, it is a husband for a female, and it is also associated with father, your gurus. And Jupiter is the financial health of a given person. Jupiter is the family happiness, Jupiter is general well-being, Jupiter is Jeev Karka, and Jupiter is your respect that you will get in life. Jupiter is your wishes that are getting fulfilled, and Jupiter is also your status. So what happens when it goes debilitated? Friends, first of all, to understand this, we must know that Jupiter is debilitated at 5 degrees in the sign of Capricorn. This is the state of deep debilitation for planet Jupiter. Now Capricorn sign, which is ruled by Saturn, happens to have 3 nakshatras which are ruling in this sign. Starting from the previous sign of Sagittarius, from 26 degrees 40 minutes up till 10 degrees in the sign of Capricorn is the Uttara Ashada nakshatra, which is ruled by planet Sun. Now at 10 degrees up till 23 degrees 20 minutes is another nakshatra which is ruling in the sign of Capricorn, which is the Shravan nakshatra ruled by Moon. Then from 23 degrees 20 minutes up till the next sign, that is of Aquarius, up till 6 degrees 40 minutes is the third nakshatra of Dhanishta, which is ruled by Mars, which is falling in the sign of Capricorn and also in the sign of Aquarius. So under the influence of so many planets, Jupiter becomes debilitated, deeply debilitated at 5 degrees in Capricorn. Now it doesn't mean that if it is at some other degrees in Capricorn, it will not have the debilitation effects. The effects are definitely going to be there, but they will become diminished in some other degrees. So it is very, very rare to have the exact degrees of debilitation in a given horoscope. Friends, whatever things I am going to tell you today, please do not take them in black and white. The reason is that there are many combinations which are leading to the cancellation of debilitation also, and sometimes the combinations may not be there in your main chart, in your Rashi chart, but they are getting cancelled in your Navamsha chart. So I plan to make separate videos of cancellation of debilitation of all the planets in my forthcoming videos. But today my focus is only on the debilitation of planet Jupiter, which is one of the most important planets, and its effects are hugely felt. To explain this, I will simply take up an example. Suppose a child is born to a mother, and within first 2 years the child loses his father to divorce and mother is separated from her father. Now under these circumstances, the entire financial burden comes on mother's shoulders. She is out to earn the bread and butter, and the child is left all alone without any patronage, and the child is growing on his own. Now there is no value system being taught to the child because mother is never having any time. Financially he is under constraint. There is no financial health of that family, and the child is always unhappy. The child is eating everything and anything, so because of which the child may become obese in no time. At school, his grades are dropping. Teachers are always complaining about his non-attention in studies, and there could be obesity related issues that the child may be having. The child may be having frequent headaches or gastric issues, or sometimes the child may be having problems with his teachers. Either the child would be very rude with his teachers, or the teachers are always complaining about the child, about his non-attentiveness in the class, and for various other reasons. Education becomes a great difficulty for this child, and pulling up with the pressures of day-to-day life also becomes very difficult for the child. The child grows up with lots of neurological issues, and thereby when the child grows up, he or she falls into depression and wrong company. So the repercussions of this is that when the child would get married later on, first of all, he would attract all wrong sorts of partners, and wrong sorts of companionships or relationships will never prosper, and you will attract wrong relationships and they will break down. And even if you happen to marry somebody nice and worthy, the thing is that later on, in due course of time, the spouse may separate from you, and this will also not give you a male child. It can give somebody a female child or a child who is mentally challenged. So there can be such huge repercussions when Jupiter becomes debilitated. So the child or the person can be prone to various diseases of digestive system. Jupiter controls the sugar element in our body. So it means that there could be sugar mismanagement, especially if there is affliction also happening. So it can cause to diabetes, it can cause to liver related problems, excess fat deposit, because Jupiter rules the fats in our body. I have seen people with debilitated Jupiter becoming obese, and they have huge problems related to their fat mismanagement. Even Jupiter in other signs like Taurus, Libra, or in the enemy signs of Mercury, that is Gemini or Virgo, Jupiter considers Venus and Mercury as its enemies. So in their signs also, if your Jupiter is falling, it will give you weight gain issues. But in the sign of Capricorn, it is the worst. So friends, Jupiter should be in Leo sign or in Cancer sign or in its own sign. In that case, it will give you good weight management. But in these cases, it will give you huge difficulties with respect to your weight management. So you will also be prone to eating junk food, and it can give you issues related to your addictions or addictive habits also. Jupiter can give you problems with your speech, and Jupiter in debilitation can give you problems related to your financial health. Either you would be very poor with your financial management, or you would be a spendthrift, or you will always undergo lots of financial issues no matter how much you are trying to save on the money. This can also give you issues related to property losses, and try never to fall into any court cases, because it can give you issues with that also. Sometimes there is a fear of fire when Jupiter is debilitated in your horoscope, and Jupiter will always make sure that if you give medicine with your own hands to somebody, that person, if you have a debilitated Jupiter, that person will never benefit through you. And always try not to give any advice to others if you have a debilitated Jupiter, because your advice is never going to work. So my dear friends, those of you who want to prosper in the field of astrology or in the field of predictive sciences, for them my guidance is that unless your Jupiter is getting cancellation of your debilitation, never become an astrologer, because that will ruin your Jupiter further, and also it will not give you the right kind of predictions that you want to give to others. So here you will often fail with your predictions. So to become an astrologer, it is very important that you should have a very strong Jupiter. There could be hair fall related problems if you have Jupiter. You may not be able to achieve a high status in your life despite undergoing lots of hard work. So the person may be working at a very insignificant position. Because if your Jupiter is strong, in that case, you will be able to attain a very high position very smoothly and very easily. But if your Jupiter is debilitated, no matter how much you try, it is very difficult for you to achieve a worthy position and respect in life. People may not take you seriously. You will suffer in terms of confidence and you will suffer in terms of your knowledge. So there are various ways where you can always fix your debilitated Jupiter. Now I'm going to talk about them. So Jupiter is your solar plexus chakra. That is the area under your chest or above your navel. So this is the area of your solar plexus chakra. It is yellow in color. So if you have a debilitated Jupiter, you will see that you will be prone to negativity. You will not have many friends, or you will attract wrong kind of people in your social circle. You will prefer loneliness, solitude, and you will also be fearful and full of anxiety. You will be oversensitive, and there could be issues with your learnings. You may not be wanting to increase your knowledge. Your creativity will also suffer here. So you could have a very negative outlook about life. You may have a false ego about you. So there are various things which can happen to a person with a debilitated Jupiter. You will have no interest in religion or religious things, or you will always doubt about the religious things, about the customs. You will always want to go against the customs, and you will never bother about the societal things. Those females who have a debilitated Jupiter will marry a wrong partner, because the strength of your Jupiter, the auspiciousness of your Jupiter, whether it is functionally malefic or benefic, keep aside that thing. The auspiciousness of Jupiter determines the kind of husband that a female is going to have. The better your Jupiter, the better is your husband. Afflicted is your Jupiter, problems through your husband, and problems in continuity of marriage, because Jupiter is all about forgiveness. It is all about large-heartedness. So if your Jupiter is suffering, you will have issues in forgiving others, and also you will attract wrong kind of spouse for you. Jupiter is also your elder sibling, and Jupiter is also your children. Jupiter is your gurus. So you should always try to take care of the karkas. As a part of the remedies, take care of the karkas. Give respect to your elder siblings, whether it is your brother or sister. Love your children. Love children in general. Do something for the needy children. You should go to orphanage and give your services, whether in terms of money or in terms of teaching. Do something for the orphan children. Adopt a child, and you can always try to forcefully build this habit of reading, because Jupiter is education, Jupiter is learning, Jupiter is Vedas. So try to visit a temple, try to inculcate this habit of learning, studying books. So that way you will see that your Jupiterian energies are becoming good. But never wear a gemstone of Jupiter if it is your functionally malefic. But you can perform the other remedies that will strengthen your Jupiter. So if your ascendant is going along with the gemstone of Jupiter, only then you must wear. Otherwise you should avoid wearing it. But you can always wear yellow colored clothes, and you can eat the food which is yellow in color, like bananas, lemons, or other yellow food which you can think of. Try to consume yellow milk as much as possible. Now how to make it yellow? You can add turmeric to it, you can add saffron to it, and you can drink. So that way you will see that the Jupiterian energies will benefit you. In fact, I have seen people who have debilitated Jupiter, they hate milk, and it sometimes doesn't suit them also. In that case, if it is not suiting you, you can have a bath with turmeric water on Thursdays. That will also purify your energies of Jupiter, and it will give you good results. You can chant the beach mantra of Jupiter, that is Om Gram Greem Grom Saha Guru Mase Namaha. And you can also pray to Lord Shiva, because he is the deity of planet Jupiter. Although the deity of planet Jupiter is Lord Brahma, but Lord Brahma is not worshipped. We can pray to Lord Shiva. That will also give us very good results. And you can also drink yellow colored water. For that I will tell you what to do. You can take a glass bottle or a glass container and put some water into it, and you can wrap it with a yellow transparent paper and put it under the sun from morning until the evening time, and later on in the evening you can drink that water, because that will be having the yellow rays of sun. The yellow color will absorb the yellow rays of sun, and that will energize the water. And anyway, solar energies are energizing that water with the yellow energies, and after drinking that water you will see a huge change in the quality of your Jupiter, and many things can be fixed this way. You can also be more forgiving in your approach and more helpful in your approach, and this way you will see that the Jupiterian energies are increasing day by day. So friends, this was all about the debilitation effect of Jupiter. Stay connected, and very soon I'll be coming with another video, and until then, bye friends.